There has always been a fault line named Rogers Creek that runs through the downtown city of Santa Rosa, California. Little earthquakes will happen here and there, but everybody was worried for the big one, like the one in 1906. What's worse is that the USGS predicts that this fault line is most likely going to shift out all the Bay Area's faults and to cause a huge earthquake in California, and it's in our city, Santa Rosa. In late March 2020, Santa Rosa was suddenly demolished by an 8.3 earthquake. Children crawled out of rubble looking for their parents. Families were looking for their brothers and sisters. People were checking if their neighbors were okay, and hospital emergency backup systems were not firing up. Men were on bikes and on foot, telling people to head to the fairgrounds where they had medical support and little bits of food. They also told suffering residents to scavenge what they can find and share it with others, including food and medical supplies. The temporary autonomous zone, or also known as a TAZ, was starting to increase in numbers, and even more residents kept coming to the area. This helped because there was various types of professionals coming in the area, like teachers, doctors, electricians, and others that help with the many needs of the victims. Families were waiting for help. Resources were slim within days. Then the Federal Emergency Management Agency, also known as FEMA, came to assist the TAZ.
Our TAZ is located at the Sonoma County Fairgrounds. It is February 1st, 2020, in early spring, right after the rainy season, and 1,000 people are living in the TAZ. The TAZ is made up of people who live in Santa Rosa. About 1,000 people will be living in this TAZ, and numbers slowly increase. People start taking pictures of broken buildings and post it on social media sites to get awareness and donations from outside sources. This TAZ has support from local and federal level. In other words, FEMA came to help the people and have been supporting themselves this whole entire time. The TAZ is formed by the people but instigated by the government. Everyone lives in tents and keeps warm by wearing warm clothes by FEMA and themselves. The residents have to wear warm clothing because the average temperature is 62 to 42 degrees. In the front of the TAZ, there is a drop-off section that FEMA provides all of the goods such as clothing, food, medication, and water. At the back of the fairgrounds is where all the Santa Rosa residents are temporarily living. Entry 1. Creek's Breaking Point. Today I managed to call Vendicat about what happened yesterday. There was an earthquake so strong that it destroyed the building that we were staying in. It was one of the most horrifying things I've ever seen since I was on Mars. When I called Vendicat, he let out a deep sigh of relief. Oh, thank God both of you are alive. You two aren't hurt, aren't you? I heard what happened yesterday. There was a bit of panic in his voice. Don't worry, Ven. Annie and I aren't hurt badly, but there's people around us that have it worse. Alright, stay put. I'm going to see if we were able to send help for you two. Before I could say anything else, Vendicat hung up. Rude. Thanks for the info, Ven. But we can't really go anywhere anyways. I said to no one but myself. The roads are blocked by crumbled buildings, so we can't really drive off to a different area with the car right now. But that doesn't mean we still can't use them. Nothing is scarier than hearing only static on the radio. Scratch that. Being in an earthquake and seeing the building you were staying in crumble to the ground is probably scarier. Scratch that again. Accepting your death in space seems to be the winner in my experiences.
Well, to get back to what I was talking about originally, for hours the radio was nothing but static. Annie saw me frustrated with the lack of signal. If you want to hear quality tunes, why don't you just connect your phone to the car? I stopped and looked towards Annie. That's not the problem. I'm looking for any reports of help. Annie looked at me, dead in the eyes, and said, "That was a joke." Honestly, I'm a little bit embarrassed, but of course I'm never going to confess to that. Just when I was going to give up on searching, I heard a voice come from the radio. Huzzah! The radio host, of course, gave out all the details of what happened yesterday. Apparently, the earthquake was caused by a fault line named Rogers Creek that was supposed to break years ago, but had ruptured yesterday. Wow, how lucky am I to be here on the day it decided to break. Maybe today's the day where California decides to sink into the abyss. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't want to jinx it.
There are a few areas of the shelter that has been constructed by the citizens of the town that has volunteer doctors helping the people. One of them is in the fairgrounds. That was surprisingly quick. I would have thought it would have taken weeks for these things to be set up. I don't know about Annie, but I don't think we need it, especially since we don't live here and Vendicat's already sending help for us. It makes me feel bad for those people who have lost their homes and have to be living in tents for a very long time, but we have homes outside of the state that we can return to. Annie announced the closest refugee center to the people that were staying in the rubble that was once the hotel.